SeaTow Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking.
There is verifiable proof from people that spoke to me and also law enforcement that people had seen Nolan after this call had occurred and after the boys had left already. So that creates an impossibility that someone can be talking about Nolan being dead if he's seen alive after this. Before we get back to the show, I want to tell you guys about Shinergy. If you're tired of energy drinks that spike you up, make you jittery, and then crash you later, Shinergy is built differently. Shinergy Day gives you clean, steady energy and focus with natural caffeine from green tea. Shinergy Night helps you wind down so that you can rest, you can wake up clean, not groggy. It's a simple day and night system made with natural ingredients, no sugar spikes, and no synthetic stimulant overload. Go to SynergyLife.com and try it for yourself. Better energy, better rest, better rhythm. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I need to address something real quick before I get to this news that was just presented to me, which could allude to potential foul play against Nolan Wells. And let me just say this right off the bat. There's alcohol involved. What is being told to me that 100% there's involved. There's multiple people involved, people that may have seen Nolan last, but is not being truthful and coming forward as to what they saw, who was with him last. And we have various people that have come out or come to us with the information, and one was sent in a DM honing in on one particular person that may have been in an altercation with Nolan. Now, this appears to be post the phone call and the boys that I talked to who had already left. And I've been telling people that it appears that the young men that I interviewed had nothing to do with this. And the sentiment still continues. I have names. I know who these people are. My goal with this is to present it to law enforcement before I say anybody's name. But I'm going to let you guys know what I have heard so you can have a perspective, because when the autopsy comes out, or at least the toxicology results comes out, it's going to prove whether or not people are saying things to me that are not true, or the sources that I believe are verified are accurate. Before we get to that, I need to follow up and dispel this mythical phone call, because I think people are still pushing this. And I've been telling you guys from the very beginning that I think that they're pushing people in the wrong direction. When you get information that leads you to believe that this group of people had nothing to do with it, you need to move on and look at other leads. And I feel like in this case, people are so bent on making it about race and making it specifically about these white boys like low-hanging fruit because they reported he was missing. They seen him on the day of the thing. Y'all just jumping into conclusions, making it about them. And with the information that I got today, and I really been holding some of it for the last several days, I just needed to verify a few things, that people should have been going in another direction instead of wasting time with these boys that I had already been vindicated. Let's go to the tow call, and this is on Nancy Grace's show. And hopefully I get an opportunity to talk to Nancy Grace about this, because I just feel like you have to be very mindful in doing due diligence before you put these things out on the internet, given the fact of the confusion that it could cause. Just real quick, this is why I don't believe that. I think people are hearing what they want to hear and not what is said. Either this is doctored, or people are hearing things that they want to hear and not what's said. Because there is verifiable proof from people that spoke to me and also law enforcement that people had seen Nolan after this call had occurred and after the boys had left already. So that creates an impossibility that someone can be talking about Nolan being dead if he's seen alive after this. And I'm being told in some of the things that I've seen is that people have seen him alive right before 6 p.m., which is over an hour after this happened. All right, let's get to the clip, and we're gonna further dispel this with TMZ's reporting as well. Roll it.
SeaTow Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
What?
All right, pause.
Did we?
I'm going to get to Nancy Grace here in a second, but I want you guys to go back and I want you to take another listen. Now, I want you to frame this within the context that clearly Nolan is still alive during this period. So let's remove Nolan from this context. Let's play it within the context of them mentioning things on the boat being either dead or whatever the case may be. Put this in the context of they're on a boat, they're about to sink, the bilge port or whatever it's called is not working, dead, damaged, they're concerned. Put that in your mind as you listen to this and tell me if you hear something different than Nolan, is he dead, and all of that stuff. Roll it.
SeaTow Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd
Hello?
you say? Hey,
Yes, how far is the water coming up, sir?
it's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
What did we just hear? What was that? Straight out to investigative reporter Crime Stories, Dave Mack. Did you just hear what I heard? Now,
All right, let me move on from this because she's going to interview another guy, and I'm running out of time. I gotta get through this. You guys can watch that on. Just go to her channel. You can see what her interview was. Now, I'm trying to help us not get too caught up and and people look like fools. So now go to the TMZ article real quick. The TMZ presentation. TMZ played this. All of the above. Y'all were DMing me to death about this on TMZ. Let me just read this real quick from what TMZ said. Evidence appears to show Nolan Wells was still on Horn Island when his friend's boats left, TMZ has learned. Sources with direct knowledge of the investigation claim authorities have evidence of Nolan being on the Mississippi Barrier Island, after the boat departed on the 4th of July, which will be a huge development. We're told that at least 2 witnesses who were interviewed by law enforcement say that they saw Nolan on the island after the boat headed back to the mainland. That's significant for many reasons. Now, what do you guys got to say about this? TMZ, who put it out, reiterated that there's people that are saying they saw Nolan afterwards. It continues. TMZ enhanced the audio of Nolan's friend's frantic call for help when their boat was sinking, and people believe you can hear someone saying, "Is he dead?" But our sources tell us people on the boat have heard the enhanced audio and are telling people around them the audio is only panic from a boat sinking. If you put that in context, you can see exactly what's going on. Now, let's move on because I was given this video. And here's a video of the actual boat as they're getting towed out. Do you see Nolan on this boat whatsoever? Now, I did this so we can get context. Now, the nut job lunatics that want to believe what they want to believe, don't worry about them. I'm talking of those of us who really care about getting to the bottom of this. And just hold on with me because we got to get to the new stuff that I just heard before we run out of time. So that's a video of that. Now let me present something else to you, because this is a video of what it looked like. And Nolan is in this video. We'll put the video up. Nolan is in this video. Put it on the screen. Pause it right here. So this was sent to us as well. I'm sure this video is circulating anyway. If you look at the boy in the blue shorts, right where his butt is at, you move over at the edge of the boat in his butt, and that's actually Nolan standing in the water right there. I'm going to have the team play the video and pan it so you can see what environment they were in similarly when the boat began to sink. Roll the clip. Pause. Do you guys see how many people are out there? Play it again. Do you guys see how many boats are out there? So this is where the boat is at when they begin to become distressed. Right in this area. As you can see how close they are to the land. You can see where the coordinates were at. Right there. So when they're taking in water, when their boat is beginning to sink because it's anchored, it's happening right there. So for somebody to believe that this dispatch call is a desperate call with Nolan laying dead in the middle of their boat, that does not make sense. And to think that nobody saw it when they're entangled within all these people, I think is a disservice. But what I was told, and you guys, please take in consideration that it's reliable sources. However, the only way to prove the truth in this is if I see it with my own eyes, if the law enforcement have the investigation of this, and also when the toxicology results come out. But people are messaging me and telling me that there is heavy drinking and there's cocaine involved. And there's a particular person whom I know this person's name. I'm not going to disclose it. I'm going to go to the police first, and then I will disclose it if it doesn't interfere in the investigation. But this person allegedly was offering people cocaine. And someone close to Nolan, one of his friends, told me that this person was offered cocaine and rejected it from this person. And I was also told, and this person told me that it's over 100% chance that Nolan was using cocaine during this period of time. This person said it was 150% sure that when the toxicology comes back, that Nolan will have cocaine in his system. Now, again, taking into consideration, this is somebody telling me this. I'm not saying it's me. I'm not saying it. I'm not able to verify it. But from the sources that I'm getting it from has been consistent, verifiable sources thus far, and haven't been wrong about nothing. So there's a possibility that there's a person that Nolan may have been around or interacted with that is giving the people on this island, that Nolan may have taken the cocaine. And then also, I received a DM from someone DMing another person. Now, I'm trying to leave these names out because I want to not mess this investigation up. I think law enforcement already have this. That alluded to the fact that, and I messaged this person because I want to talk directly to the person that I saw the DM from. And we haven't talked to this person yet. But the person said in the DM to another kid that is associated, not any of the kids that I interviewed to talk to, but that could be associated to some degree, that knew Nolan, that this person wrote a message saying, me and my husband saw you arguing with Nolan, and to the effect of, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Now, the person did not say they saw a physical altercation. The person did not say what time they saw Nolan and this other person getting into an argument. Now, this is after Warren, their boat left. This may be somewhere around a little bit before 6, right around 6 or a little bit before 6 p.m. Now, according to the autopsy, which I interviewed a medical examiner about this, there is no evidence of blunt force trauma or an evidence that Nolan got into a physical altercation. So I'm putting all this stuff together, what people are sending me and all that, and I'm trying to find a neutral point to share with you. What I'm thinking at this point, with all that has been said, is that somebody knows exactly what happened to Nolan, or they saw him right before he died. I am not convinced that Nolan was just out there and drowned. It could be. That could have happened. But I'm more convinced now than ever based on what people have been telling me and DMs that I've been seeing, people that have been verified sources, that there has to be something with this. There has to be something with Nolan and a girl, and there has to be something with Nolan potentially being in either altercation with somebody, which would lead me to believe that that person saw Nolan last. And that this other person that's giving people, so this person giving people, a girl, Nolan, and another person that he may have been in an argument with, to me, are people that need to be investigated. And I can say more, but I'm trying not to get anything messed up in this case because I want justice for Nolan, and I want the boys that weren't involved in this to not get caught up in stupidity. So just so you guys know, I know the names of the person. I believe I know who the girl is. And I know the name of the person that may have been in an argument with Nolan. And there's nothing conclusive that anybody's telling me where there was violence that occurred. But that does not mean that the violence is ruled out. That does not mean that something could have happened in the water. Another report came to me of someone saying that they saw Nolan with a girl, being intimate in the water to the point where it caught their attention, and they believed that they saw Nolan and this girl struggling in the water, not necessarily drowning, but struggling. Like it was obvious enough that the person was concerned when they saw Nolan in the water, and he was with this girl. And that the person explicitly said that they were being intimate, which I don't know what that means as far as just kissing, hugging, cuddling, or something else. But that's what has been told to me. And these sources I think, have been legitimized. But what they're saying, I haven't been able to verify. This is just someone saying this, and I'm telling you what I'm hearing. So when the toxicology come back, if there's in the system, to me, that will validate that these people that have been telling me this are being accurate. And like I said, somebody really close to Nolan made mention that they're almost 100% sure that he may have been partaking in the use of. And it's unfortunate. I've been knowing this, at least that part, for a while now, but I didn't want to put his name out there like that, given the fact that he just lost his life. But now that we're getting more information, the investigation is going further along, I'm just putting it out there. And we shall see if what is being told is accurate. But I'll finish it with this. I'm leaning more towards believing that somebody directly saw Nolan and know how Nolan died. That's my take on it. I don't think he was just drowning out there messing around. I think that somebody know more than what they're saying. And I don't think it's a lot of people. I think it's a few people that were last on the island with Nolan that know what happened, that seen what happened, or may have knowledge of something that will lead police in the right direction to find out exactly what happened. And I am encouraging you. I know some of y'all names. If it's you, you need to do the right thing. You need to go to authorities. And if you're there and you had nothing to do with it, you definitely need to go to authorities and clear your name. I'll say this: some of these people may have already gone to authorities. I don't know. The authorities won't tell me who they interviewed. So we'll go to that next step when it comes.